Good evening and welcome to Ignite News on 6 at 6. It's Friday, August 1st, 2025. I'm Rihanna Nekram. Thanks for joining us. Here are the headlines. The national park is alive with food and fashion as Guyana celebrates Emancipation Day. Travel across Guyana's major bridges is now completely toll-free, saving commuters time and money. Guyana now faces a 15% U.S. tariff. And plans are underway to introduce local travel rates to boost domestic tourism in Guyana. Today is Emancipation Day, and the national park is bursting with food, fashion, and tradition as the African Cultural and Development Association held their annual Emancipation Festival. Kelly Carter was there and filed this report.
Thank you, Rihanna. Here at the National Park, the Emancipation Festival 2025 is bursting with color, culture, and pride. Families dressed in vibrant kente, dashikis, and symbolic jewelry have gathered to honor not just freedom, but identity and ancestry. For many, emancipation is deeply personal, a time to reconnect with roots, pass on traditions, and be proudly seen. Let's hear what some of them had to say.
It is so much fun for us to be able to come out as a family in the national park. I'm enthused to know that ACDA keeps this celebration alive. I would have expected more in terms of the attendance, but perhaps later on more people will come out. But I am so blessed to be able to be in Guyana at this time and to be able to celebrate our emancipation commemoration.
Emancipation is basically the season where we celebrate our freedom, we come out together, we enjoy ourselves, we share the different dishes, enjoy family time, and just have clean fun. I've been doing this coming out several years continuously, and it's something that I always look forward to coming out and celebrating, and even just sharing the moment with other religions and other people and other races.
So tell me, what does emancipation mean to you?
Emancipation means so much to me. At this time, I'm so happy to celebrate because I am the music teacher at ACDA. I normally teach the turn African drumming every Saturday. And emancipation is a time of real freedom where we can educate ourselves more, develop ourselves in different skills, and not just freedom physically, but freedom of mind, freedom mentally. That's what emancipation means to me. I feel very happy being out here today because actually we prepare for this every year. We normally, as I say, I'm the drumming instructor. We normally teach the children different African rhythms, and we prepare for a day like today, Emancipation Day, where we can go on the stage and we can, show our skills, show all that we have learned in African drumming.
As the rhythms of the drum echo across the national park and the scent of traditional dishes fill the air, one thing is clear. Emancipation Day in Guyana is not only a tribute to the past, but a vibrant declaration of living culture. From the youngest child in Ankara print to the elders draped in history, today is a powerful reminder. We remember, we celebrate, and we rise. Reporting from the National Park on Thomas Road, Georgetown, I'm Kaylee Carter for Ignite News. Back to you, Rihanna.
Thank you, Kaylee. It is important to acknowledge and pass on the cultural practices our ancestors fought to preserve. Meanwhile, Hopetown came alive last night with color, rhythm, and pride as the historic village hosted its annual Emancipation Soiree, a vibrant celebration of freedom, unity, and African heritage. Originally bought in 1839 by freed Africans for $2,000, Hopetown was once part of plantation perseverance and became a proud symbol of Ghana's village movement. Last night, residents honored that legacy with a lively street march, dressed in dashikis, head wraps, and flowing garments. They sang traditional African songs and beat drums, reviving ancestral rhythms. Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips addressed the gathering, reflecting on the significance of emancipation.
Emancipation meant freedom, finally, for the Africans who were enslaved. But it didn't mean freedom and relaxation and celebration only. The Africans who were enslaved started an important movement on emancipation.
He recalled the importance of the first village purchase at Victoria, and noted by 1857, nearly half of Ghana's coastal population lived in villages established by formerly enslaved people. Saskia Allen from the Region 5 Emancipation Committee told Ignite News that the soiree is more than a celebration. It is a sacred duty to honor the village's unique history of unity and sacrifice.
Free slaves. They pulled their monies, and the day when they were going to buy this village, they all put in a wheelbarrow and they wheeled it to where they had to go and buy it. And that's very significant because, you know, there goes the notion of sur, which is because Baksan. And so it is significant because it's not one person that is a rich person that had money. The camaraderie and the sense of community is always there from the inception. And that is why it is important we celebrate this soiree.
The evening also featured cultural performances and a lively market, with youth vendors selling food, art, and crafts. With continued government support, the Hope Town Emancipation Soiree has grown into one of Region 5's most anticipated cultural events, bigger and more vibrant every year. Residents in the ancient county are also celebrating a major change that will benefit thousands. The Berbice Bridge is officially toll-free. The move follows President Dr. Irfan Ali's announcement in March that tolls will be removed from all major bridges. The Demerara Harbor Bridge and the Mackenzie-Wismar Bridge are also toll-free starting today. Drivers, vessels, and freight can now cross without paying a cent. Still, toll booths won't be disappearing. Deputy General Manager of the Berbice Bridge Company, Armanat Singh, says vehicle processing will continue to help regulate traffic.
All the safety protocols will still remain the same. The weight limit for the bridge would still remain the same. The processing of vehicle would be faster since we are not dealing with cash anymore. Farmers would benefit for one. Transporting your produce to the market would be cheaper. Access to healthcare would be cheaper because you don't have to pay to cross. You could access the hospitals. Contractors would not have to pay to cross to ferry materials across the bridge.
Businessman Roy Drafali says the tolls were once a major monthly burden.
The vehicle that I used to cross the bridge started at $600, and an average of 10 to 12 trips per month or more, and that is the least. And the amount of money we think about saving at the end of the month, about $40-something thousand you save on bridge tolls. I can't tell you how much of a burden that was lifted on the shoulders of businessmen like us who frequent that bridge, like I do.
Kyler Rollins, a resident of Rosignol who works in Region 6, welcomed the move.
I would pay $1,900 to cross the bridge, and now that the bridge will be toll-free, I wouldn't be paying a cent. I would be able to use this money in other areas, in other aspects of life, like saving and car maintenance and so on. Monthly, I spent over $45,000 because I work 6 days a week, and 6 days a week, by that, it's $45,600. And annually, over $500,000 I'll be able to save now that this toll has been abolished.
For hire car driver Anthony Grangaram, the savings are simple.
I can go for any time I want now. I pay $1,900.
And Lovina Trude, who once parked in Regions 5 to avoid tolls, says that's no longer necessary.
With the toll upliftment, I could be able to drive to work, which would definitely save me passage or save me some sort of cash.
As this initiative rolls out nationwide, residents across Guyana are already beginning to feel the benefits of toll-free travel, making mobility, commerce, and daily life more affordable. When we return, the U.S. hits Guyana with a 15% tariff. Plus, the European Union ramps up election monitoring ahead of the December vote. And another fire damages the Critchlow Labour College. Stay with us.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Welcome back. Guyana is among dozens of countries that have been hit with high tariffs by the Trump administration. The United States has imposed a 50% reciprocal tariff on imports from Guyana. This is part of a sweeping package of trade measures unveiled by the White House just hours ahead of a 1st of August deadline for countries to reach new trade agreements with Washington. The measures, part of what President Donald Trump once dubbed Liberation Day tariffs, will take effect in 7 days and target dozens of countries that failed to strike deals with the U.S. in time. While Trump has announced 8 bilateral agreements so far, including with the European Union, Japan, and United Kingdom, the full details of those pacts remain unclear. Few nations have been spared. Canadian imports will face tariffs as high as 35%, among the highest announced. Thailand, which had been slated for a 36% tariff, will now face a reduced 90% duty, aligning it with regional peers such as Indonesia and the Philippines. Mexico has been granted an additional 90 days to conclude a trade agreement, while Taiwan faces a 20% tariff. It remains unclear whether its semiconductor sector will be subject to additional sector-specific levies. With just over a month to go before Ghana's general and regional elections, the European Union's Election Observation Mission is officially underway. Chief Observer Robert Bidron addressed local media this morning in Georgetown, outlining the mission's scope and stressing that the team is completely independent.
It is important to underline that our mission is fully independent. And I want to underline this really strong. We are fully independent. We operate separately from the EU delegation in Guyana, EU member states, and all other EU institutions, ensuring that our assessment is impartial and objective.
The mission, invited by the government of Ghana, includes 8 core experts already on the ground. 14 long-term observers will be deployed across all 10 regions from August 6th, followed by another 20 short-term observers closer to Election Day.
Altogether, we will expect to have around 50 observers on the ground. All of them, and I assure you because I know many of them, represent well-oiled machine of high-quality experts.
Observers will monitor everything from campaigning and media coverage to voting day logistics and complaints resolution without interfering.
They do not, and I want to underline that, interfere in the electoral processes on any stage. We are here to observe whether the electoral process is being conducted in a transparent and credible manner.
A preliminary report will be released on September 3rd, with final recommendations to follow months later.
Elections are more than the ballots. They are the foundation of democracy. This is why we are here with a strong team of observers to assess the process with professionalism and impartiality. As international election observers, we have no stake in the outcome. Our only, and I underline again, only concern is the integrity of the process.
This marks the EU's second full mission to Ghana, part of what Bidron called a commitment to support credible and inclusive elections. Another fire has struck Critchlow Labour College, this time gutting the western section of the historic institution on Wolford Avenue, Georgetown. The blaze broke out late last night, just after 11:30 p.m., and lit up the sky as firefighters raced to contain it. They eventually brought the flames under control, but small pockets of fire were still smoldering earlier this morning. The fire services say those were quickly extinguished, and they're continuing to monitor the site. This is the second major fire at the college this year. In March, flames destroyed 8% of the main auditorium and admin building, affecting more than 200 students. In June, principal of the college, Dr. Ivor English, had told Ignite News that the school was preparing to resume in-person classes on July 1st, with cleanup and demolition already underway in June. Since March, classes have been held online, and the government has pledged to support the rebuilding process. English had thanked the state for its assistance, but this latest setback now raises fresh questions about the future of the college. When we come back, the Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana reveals plans to boost local travel. And in sports, a young chess prodigy dominates the National Junior Championship qualifiers. Stay with us.
Your business is built on hard work, vision, and the drive to succeed. At GBTI, we understand what it takes to grow. That's why we offer Grow, a small business service designed to help your business expand, adapt, and reach its full potential. From new opportunities to new milestones, we're here to support you every step of the way. Grow from GBTI. Progress starts here.
You're watching Ignite News on 6 at 6. Thanks for staying with us. The Tourism and Hospitality Association of Guyana is working to grow domestic tourism. These efforts include the introduction of special local rates. President Mitra Ramkumar made a disclosure during an interview with Ignite Insights, where he stressed that local tourism is key to growing the industry by encouraging a steady flow of visitors and helping businesses reach economies of scale.
In order to upkeep this facility, right, to the level that you want, it demand, and that is what makes it expensive. But if you have, and this is where if us Guyanese now could start visiting these sites and we can actually have a flow to these places, then the cost will start coming down. And we would have seen that in different areas. We know it's a challenge. We know that it's when you compare it globally, it is expensive. But we are working towards getting those costs down. And I believe with the infrastructure coming in place, those costs will definitely come down. We are also looking at having local rates for Guyanese so that they can come out and experience what the country has to offer.
Ramkumar explained that high travel costs due to limited infrastructure remain a major barrier for local tourists, but efforts are underway to change that. He also pointed to staff turnover, training, and maintaining service standards as major challenges. With job opportunities in booming sectors like oil and gas, it's getting harder to keep the tourism industry fully staffed.
And so I want to say that to appeal to the general public and to Guyanese to experience more of what Guyana is all about. Visit the different regions, go out into the Essequibo.
Still, Ramkumar remains hopeful. He says Guyanese proved during the pandemic that they're eager to explore their own country, and the sector is working to build on that momentum. In sports, 15-year-old Kyle Couchman has emerged undefeated in the Rook Salon and Spa-sponsored National Junior Chess Championship qualifiers that were held at the Guyana National Stadium in Providence. Couchman scored a perfect 7 points from 7 rounds, sealing his win with a crucial victory over candidate Master Sachin Pintamber in round 5. This marks the second year in a row Couchman has won the qualifiers. Now, he set his sights on the National Junior Chess Championship title. The 4-day tournament, hosted by the Ghana Chess Federation, featured 59 players and used a classical format, with 90 minutes per game, plus a 30-second increment per move. Pintamber, also 15 and Ghana's youngest candidate master, finished second with 6 points. He remains a strong contender for the title. 13-year-old Nicholas Zhang placed third with 5.5 points, while Micaiah Ano finished fourth with 5. Ano's standout moment came in round 2 when he outplayed Alexander Zhang in a 6-6 move endgame. The qualifiers showcase the skill, strategy, and rising potential of Ghana's young chess talents. India's mounted a strong comeback on day 2 of the 5th test at the Oval, bowling out England for 247 in the final session. Despite a quick start from Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett, India's pace attack, led by Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna, turned the match around. Both bowlers picked up 4 wickets each, ripping through England's middle and lower order. Crawley and Harry Brooks stood out for the home side, each scoring hard-fought half-centuries. But their efforts gave England only a slim 23-run lead in the first innings. India's openers Yashasvi Jaiswal and KL Rahul erased that lead quickly, playing confidently through the first 6 overs of their second innings without losing a wicket. With a series on the line, Shubman Gill's team is now looking to build on that momentum and post a strong total, aiming to set England a difficult target. A win here would level the series for India. Still ahead, Dominica's Prime Minister proposes resettling Palestinians and revising immigration laws. President Trump deploys 2 U.S. nuclear submarines near Russia, and France turns to airdrops as Gaza nears famine. Your regional and international news when we return. Welcome back. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit says the country is open to resettling Palestinian families. Skerrit told Parliament his government is exploring the possibility of resettling Palestinians in the country, with support from Middle Eastern governments. Skerrit made a statement during his 2025 to 2026 budget presentation on Thursday. He said Dominica is open to talks with Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates to support the potential resettlement of a few hundred Palestinians, and is also engaging the United States on the idea.
The Palestinians, I believe that we're open to engage the government of Qatar, the government of Saudi Arabia, and the government of UAE, with a view to quite possibly allowing the resettlement of a couple hundred of Palestinians into Dominica. If we can get funding from those governments, and of course, we'll be engaging the United States government in that regard as well. If we can get the infrastructure put in.
Skerrit noted that many Palestinians are highly skilled professionals, including doctors and engineers, who could help fill gaps in Dominica's economy and boost development. He said public consultations will be held, and that Dominica must be more open in today's global environment. The Prime Minister also revealed plans for more progressive immigration policy, including a review of visa rules.
We have enough land in Dominica for an increased population. And therefore we have to be, in terms of visa regime, I believe that we should look at eliminating all visas to Dominica for all citizens across the world.
He argued that Dominica inherited restrictive immigration laws from the British and said the country has enough land to support a growing population. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump says he has ordered 2 nuclear submarines to be deployed near Russia in response to what he called provocative threats from former Russian President Dmitry Medvedev. In a post on social media Friday, Trump said the submarines were positioned just in case Medvedev's foolish and inflammatory statements were more than just words. Trump added, "Words are very important and can often lead to unintended consequences. I hope this will not be one of those instances." This follows days of rising tension between the two countries. On Tuesday, Trump warned Russia it had 10 days to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine or face harsh tariffs, along with any country buying Russian oil. Medvedev, now deputy chairman of Russia's Security Council, fired back, accusing Trump of playing a game of ultimatums and reminding him that Russia still has Soviet-era nuclear capabilities. Finally, this evening, France has begun airdropping food aid into Gaza, warning that famine is looming unless Israel allows full humanitarian access. Today, the French military dropped 40 tons of aid over Gaza, in coordination with Jordan, United Arab Emirates, and Germany. President Emmanuel Macron confirmed the drop on social media, calling it an urgent step, but also warning that airdrops are not enough. He said Israel must open up full access for aid to prevent a worsening hunger crisis. France's foreign minister said 4 flights were sent from Jordan, each carrying 10 tons of food and supplies. A global monitor this week said Gaza is slipping into famine, with rising malnutrition and children dying of hunger-related causes. France has taken part in the EU-led airlift since October last year, helping to deliver over 3,000 tons of humanitarian aid, most of it routed through Egypt and Jordan. But much of that aid still hasn't reached people in Gaza, with the French president's office blaming the lack of Israeli approval. And that's all for this edition of Ignite News on 6 at 6. For more stories, visit ignitenews.com or follow us on social media. Thanks for watching. I'm Rihanna Nikram. See you next time for more Ignite News.